Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be called Don't Live Backwards. And this video is I'm going to share some information with y'all and some knowledge to live a just and a more righteous life rather than living a life that is always chasing material and physical stuff, because temporary stuff doesn't really matter, and there's things that are way more important with yourself. And consciously, there's things that are way more important than gathering physical materialistic stuff that's only temporary. So a lot of these things that a lot of people, especially when we're young, that we chase, like for an example, money and clothing and cars and all the things that are physical and material. Most people are, when we're younger, we mostly choose to chase these things because we don't see anything else that's more important, that we don't necessarily have to chase. And it can lead a lot of young people, especially, down a path of just trying to chase physical material stuff. And it won't really teach them that there's something that's more important within them that they need to learn before you try to chase after anything in life and gain material stuff that's only temporary. And another key point about this conversation is your soul and knowledge and emotional intelligence and all of that is more important than material and more important than anything that's physical. And chasing things that's only physical and that doesn't really have any meaning or value, and chasing things and basing your life around things that are only just material and physical, and that's shallow, that's empty, basing your life around chasing those things will only lead to a life that is miserable and not really there's no satisfaction and there's no happiness in a life like that, One thing I noticed about me when I was younger and when I was in middle school and high school and stuff and growing up, I would look around me and I would see all my friends with all these cool material things and having the latest shoes and having all the nice clothes and just coming from a family with a lot of money, and I guess you can say like a wealthy family. I would have friends and I would look at other people that come from these backgrounds, and I didn't come from that, so I would look at them and be like, damn, that's cool, to have a life where you can afford anything, where you can have everything you want. I didn't know what that was like because I didn't come from that. But so yeah, it can make you think that the grass is greener on the other side, but in reality, I learned that chasing or basing your life around solely just to get those things, just to get anything that's physical, that's really doesn't have any value or that's empty, basing your life on just chasing those things will lead to a life that you do not want to live. It'll lead to an unhappy, miserable, unsatisfied life. And I'm saying this from experience. But what really grabbed my attention and kind of pulled me out of that is noticing that there's things in life that's much more deeper than just the surface level. And there's things in life that's not temporary and that you cannot replace. For an example, family. You only get one family, and you cannot replace, or your family is forever. That's for the rest of your life. So if you choose to put money or anything that's physical, that's empty, over family, just does not make sense at all, And not only that, that is what will lead to your misery. That is what will lead to your suffering. Putting something that's temporary, that really has no meaning or no value, before something that has a whole lot of meaning and a whole lot of value. Like, do you know how important family is? And do you know how important family traditions are? Do you know in other countries, they strictly live by family traditions? Eating dinner every single night at the dinner table, the mom cooking a really nice a healthy meal for like the whole family, and the food coming from nature and from their land and from their homeland and from their farms and stuff. Like, do you know how important all of that stuff is, and how that's the stuff that truly has meaning and truly has value? Because another thing that I noticed is a lot of kids, especially when we're growing up and we don't have these things like family traditions and like just, you know, family principles. Sorry, my throat is itching a little bit. When we don't have those things, we forget what it's even like to have those basic things that create a fulfilling life, you know? And that's why it's really important, like, to not put temporary things that's really shallow and has no meaning before things that has a lot of meaning and a lot of value and a huge purpose. Family honestly is just one example, but there's a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of things that we could get so caught up in chasing and trying to get money and trying to get, you know, this lifestyle and trying to get clothing and trying to get you know, cars, or like whatever it is that's physical, that's only temporary. We can spend our whole life trying to get those things and completely forget about, or even completely miss, the true importance of life in general, and of happiness in general, and of satisfaction in general. So yeah, and that's why the title of this video is Don't Live Backwards, because when you chase, but you forget what's really important and what really has meaning, you create a backwards living life, a life that's going backwards instead of forwards. Okay, so another topic that I wanted to discuss in this video, which is part of the title. So basically what I want to say, or what I'm going to talk about, is the opposite of living backwards. I'm going to talk about living forward, because when you're living forward, you first build the foundation for everything else to fall into place. You know, you can't get, like, of course we all want a life that's going to be, you know, nice and fulfilling, and we all want to be able to afford whatever we want, and we all want to, of course, have money. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But what I'm saying is, don't put that, you know, before the things that are important, which is what I'm about to say. The important things is what makes the foundation of your life. The important things are, you know, like we said before, family, making sure that you're a good person, a better person, and making sure that you're evolving every single day, you know, making sure that you treat other people how you want to be treated, you know, making sure that you're a kind person, and following more spiritual things that just help you evolve and grow and mature as a person. Those things create the foundation for you to have a satisfying life where you could create income to afford whatever you want, and you can achieve goals and follow after your dreams, you know, and have a wealthy, successful life, you know. Just put the foundation things before the physical, empty, shallow, material things. Because don't get me wrong, the material things aren't bad necessarily. And I think everything is, as long as it's done in moderation, and as long as you know how to keep a balance between everything, it's not bad. It's normal, and it's a part of life. But I feel like when you lose the balance between what's important, like I said, the foundational things, and then when you put the shallow things before the foundational things, then I feel like that's when it becomes unbalanced, and you get a chaotic life that's not really satisfying at all. So a lot of us, I understand that we honestly don't really have the knowledge, or we don't really know, because we never learned these things, and we were kind of just forced into what our parents, you know, whatever they was going through, we kind of just came in the world and picked up from that, you know. So a lot of us, yeah, like, we never was taught these things, and we never learned these things. And of course, like, school and stuff, of course, doesn't teach you these things. They're just going to teach you basic education. But So yeah, that's why it's honestly important to learn too, because learning opens the door for you to, because now and once you know, then you can start to move according to what you know. So learning opens the doors to being able to do all these things, especially if you was never taught when you were just younger, especially if you came from a life that was just more ignorant and you didn't really have knowledge or someone to teach you growing up, which is a lot of us, honestly, which is me personally. I know, like, a lot of things I wasn't taught, or I just didn't learn that growing up, because I was in like different environments, and these things weren't even taking place in the kind of environments that I was in. So I see a lot of people, especially when I'm just going to work or whatever, or in my workplace, or just in life in general. I see a lot of people that are just like miserable, and they just seem like their life is unsatisfying, and you can tell that they don't want to be at their job, and they don't like it at all, and they don't like the life that they're living. But learning is the only thing that will really get them out of that. So yeah, another thing is be patient with yourself, and don't think that just because you don't have it figured out at a young age that things are just going to be terrible and your life is just all over and messed up. Because I used to think like that, and I used to be like, just because I used to be like, I didn't know when I was younger, and now I'm an adult and I grew into these bad habits and all this stuff, and I'm like, my life is basically ruined, or like, I'm already 20 years old or 22 years old, and a lot of years I just wasted not even knowing, because I didn't learn and I didn't take the time to learn or any of that. And just be patient with yourself, honestly, and don't think that just because you didn't know when you were younger and you're older now, and like, no matter what age you are, you can follow your dreams, you can achieve goals and all that. You could turn your life around no matter what age you are. It doesn't matter about how much time you wasted or any of that. Like, when I was younger, I used to think that all the time. And as I get older, I see that there's people that's literally older than me, that's like 50, 60 years old, 50, 60 years old, that's looking at me like, you're young, you still have so much time. Why are you complaining, Like, you're still in your 20s. If you haven't even reached 30 years old yet, you still have so much time to change your life and turn your life around. And I used to think that I had like a lot of time wasted, and it was like really no turning back for me. But honestly, don't think like that. Don't have that mindset at all, especially if you're young, because there's people that's like 40, 50 years old that's at their job, that been at that job for like 30 years, and dude, you can just tell like they're miserable. Like, and as a young person, do you want to be like that? Do you want to be 40 years old, spending 20 years at the same job, doing that again and again and again and again, waking up every single day, going back to that job on a hamster wheel? Like, do you want to be doing that? Because I know, for me, for a fact, I do not want to be doing that. And I don't care how much time I've wasted in the past, I'm gonna try to change it no matter how much time I have left. Because you never know, like, you could be literally gone tomorrow, or you could literally be gone from this planet tomorrow. And why would you not just live every day like it's the last day? Or I'm like, why would you not live every day like, just look at every day as an opportunity? Like, it's an opportunity for me to turn my life around every single day. Every day is a new opportunity. So that in general, you should be grateful for, be grateful for every single day. Be grateful for every single opportunity that you get in life, because some people don't even have the opportunity. And like I said, you never know where you're going to be going off this planet. You never know when your last day is. None of us knows. So treat every day like it just might be your last, And having that mentality will honestly let you look at life a little bit better, because it'll make you make decisions from a place of, this is for me, and this is strictly for me, Like, not saying that it's all about you, but just making those decisions is strictly for me and how I want my life. Because, like I said, like, you never know what day you're going to be gone. So make decisions like, this is what I want and this is what I want to do, and actually do it, because time is ticking. We kind of got a little bit sidetracked with from the topic, but yeah, I just went into a little bit of motivational speaking right there. But I hope that inspired some of you guys. Is there anything else I want to say in this video? Maybe. if you're young, like I said earlier, if you're young, try to learn. Like, try to learn as much as you can. Just keep on learning, because one thing I notice is a person that doesn't learn and the person that just choose to stay ignorant usually end up making a lot of like bad, dumb decisions. And it's like, if you would have took the time to just learn and have a clear understanding of what's really going on and what like life really is, if only you just took the time to understand that for a little bit, just for a second, then you could have got out of your situation, or you could have made a smarter decision, you know. But some people is like, they don't even want to learn because it's like ignorance is bliss. And honestly, I understand that ignorance is bliss, because it does feel comfortable to be ignorant and not know. And then when you end up making a dumb decision, it's like, oh, like I didn't know, you know. Especially when you're young, I understand that, but that's part of living backwards. You do not want to do that, because a true wise person, and I mean like a person that really, like a person that can really turn their life around, a person that really steps into their power, knows that I'm not going to be ignorant to life. I'm not going to be ignorant to what life has to offer to me, you know? Like, why would you be ignorant to that? I'm going to learn, and I'm going to understand how life works, and how this whole human experience, this whole human journey, how it all works. And once I understand, then I'm going to make my decision and choose to move forward, you know? Don't just move forward off of misunderstanding and off of ignorance and off of not knowing, you know? Because that's not what a wise person would do, honestly. And it's part of living backwards, like I said earlier. I hope that helped you guys a little bit. I know that information helped me for a fact, so I hope it helped you guys, and I hope it inspired some of you guys to go after your dreams, go after your goals, and like I said, learn. Don't be ignorant, and yeah, really grab what life has to offer to you, because life is full of abundance, and abundance is not specifically for anyone. Life is full of abundance, and we all have access to it. You know, you just gotta, like, part of learning, but you also just gotta learn how to grab that, you know, like learn how to grab your abundance, learn how to step into your power, learn how to be you, learn how to be yourself, and yeah, expand your mind. All right, man, I hope I inspired y'all. I hope I gave y'all some good information. Thanks for watching this YouTube video. If you stayed the whole YouTube video, I sincerely appreciate it. Have a nice day. Peace.